So I'm standing there, barbecue sauce on my titties, and
There was a comment I was going to make, and I can't remember what it is. Oh,
Do you know?
yeah. I'm throwing it super old school with my drinks for the night because this is like Yingling is what I used to always drink for the podcast.
Yeah.
Until I fucking.
Are you killing younglings?
Yes. That's how you make Yingling.
I saw him killing younglings.
Good. Fucking kill some more.
He's killing them.
Dude, have you guys seen that post that was technically Star Wars Revenge of the Sith has a PG-13 rating, which means that it can get away with a single F-bomb? And it was like, where would you throw the F-bomb?
I did see that.
And it's just the picture of Anakin Skywalker holding the lightsaber in front of the younglings. And it's just the one youngling, and he goes, fuck.
Yep.
I think the one I liked the most was the one where it was like Palpatine right as he's about to be like completely betrayed by Darth Vader. And it's just Palpatine sitting there like, fuck.
You know, my favorite one along those lines is it's an unnecessary censorship. And you know, when Anakin is like holding his lightsaber at the Emperor, and the Emperor's like, "Are you going to kill me, Anakin?" And he says, "I would certainly like to." But only instead of kill, they beep it out. So he's like, "Are you going to beep me, Anakin?" I would certainly like to.
Are you going to fuck me, Anakin? I would certainly like to.
Of the
fuck me, Anakin?
The Count from Sesame Street, and every time it says Count, it gets bleeped. It's
you know that
so
I
good.
am called the beep. Yes. That's a
and
great
when I'm alone, I beep myself.
Sometimes I sit and beep all day. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dragons sworn and dragons sold, Trollocs, Merdral, Dreadlords, Forsaken, all are welcome to listen to our wisdom as we pass it down from our tainted minds to your tainted ears. Your ears are tainted because you listen to us, and our taints leave our mouths and go into your ears. Thank you for allowing us to pour our taints into your ears this fine day. We're very grateful that you are here. We are very happy to have you, and we are feeling the love today. That's right. Because it's actually past Love Day by the time you guys hear this.
No.
It'll be or will it? Yeah, it will be past Love Day.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
But this is part of the shtick, okay? There's two parts. One is you don't need one day to show the people in your life that mean something to you that you love them. Okay? We're still riding that love high
I do it one day
from
of the year,
last weekend. And I need y'all to carry that love forward. Okay? And the second part of that shtick is we're quite tainty and kind of lost track of the calendar days. But that's okay. That's not a part you need to know about.
See, actually, to be fair, I actually think we did this perfectly because this is a nice little segue. And again, this will sound like a plug because it is. There's no other way to do it. But at the same time, I mean, this is a nice, fun plug rather than hey, give us fucking money or something like that. Is the idea that our episodes actually come out twice, effectively. Because for all of you amazing, lovely, beautiful people who are our dedicated and above tier on Patreon, we actually do give you the episode a week before everybody else gets to see it. So
normally,
sorry. Yeah. There are exceptions to that rule, but the vast majority of the time you get it a week before. But again, it's not to crack down on other people. It's not to be dicks and be like, blah, blah. But this is perfect because our dedicated are going to get it 2 days before Thanksgiving. Everybody else is going to get it a little, oh my God.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen,
Valentine's Day.
Hashtag taint. Hashtag
Valentine's Day.
Embrace the taint.
The holiday where you eat something other than turkey.
Hey.
But you can still make the same sound.
I mean, definitely
Turkeys aren't the
there are
only
a lot
thing
of
that gets
people out
stuffed.
there that should be eating.
I can't.
Come
I don't
here
wanna
this
hear
Sunday.
you guys
Your
sound
turkey
like
isn't the only thing that's getting stuffed.
Yeah, no, there should be a lot of beaver eating this particular Sunday. If you're not
Canadians are offended. Why would you eat beavers? The beaver is a noble animal.
Dude, the amount of them that got killed during that like French Indian War phase, don't talk to me about beavers.
Daniel.
Remember the old cartoon
That
show
was
Angry
a long
Beavers?
time ago.
Yeah.
I don't. That just popped in my head.
So thanks for joining us here at the Black Tower Podcast. Tonight we're talking
But
about
anyway,
love.
hold on before we do that. Valentine's Day, Patreons, all of that. If you want to get these episodes before each holiday, make sure you go over and say hi on Patreon. Anyone at our second tier and above basically gets the episode early. Say hi, enjoy yourself. If you like what we're doing, show us that by helping us do it more. Again, 100%.
Help us do it more.
Help us do it more. 100% of your contributions go back into the podcast. None of it goes elsewhere. It helps us do things like take care of hosting costs. It helps us take care of
I'm very expensive. They have to hire me every night.
The different rewards that we have in those tiers, things like that. And of course, it'll allow us, hopefully in the future, next year when they can do it, to, have a panel at Dragon Con, hang out together, be able to do that kind of stuff. And we'd love to see you guys at things like, as I said, Jordan Con next year, the Gathering Madness in October, the Gathering Madness next October, all of that good stuff. As stated, it all goes back to you guys because you guys are what we're here for, and we want you to enjoy yourselves, have fun, and get quality content, which, not saying that your money causes quality content, we just do that on our own, but it helps.
And speaking of Patreon, we have a new dedicated.
Indeed.
Congratulations on joining the Black Tower and your auto promotion to the rank of dedicated. Prince Adeline's boyfriend.
That's right.
Indeed.
Prince
Well,
Adeline, come get your boyfriend. He's hanging out at the tower.
Indeed. And we all know that when you are that fabulous, you come in, you show us your shit, and we make you a dedicated immediately.
That's true. That's true. Some people just have those skills.
Yeah. And it's extra special because Prince Adeline's boyfriend's joining of the Patreon allowed us to hit our first goal that we set for the Patreon. The first goal was, of course... Yeah. So that goal was 15 patrons. If you go and look at Patreon now, the goal's been updated to 20. And that's what we'll keep doing. We'll keep bringing it up in increments of 5 or so, whatever it seems reasonable and that kind of stuff at the time. I can tell you guys, I can't give you the number, but there is a number that we have in mind that, coupled with the new stuff that we're going to be rolling out sooner than you probably think we will, because we've said it forever. But the faster we hit that number, then the more streamlined and easier it's going to be for some of the stuff for the new Patreon to happen. And some people aren't going to have to wait as long, and I won't have to keep track of nearly as much stuff.
That's true.
Which is nice.
We're happy to have our new patrons. You guys are awesome. Honestly, Indeed. The show survives because of you guys. And
because of you.
We are grateful to you, and we love having you. If you decide you don't want to pay a monthly fee to support us, that's cool. We're still happy to have you. But if you decide you'd be like, I don't want to pay them every month, but I'd pay them once and then rep the shit out of them. You need to go to blacktowerpod.com, and right there in the middle is our merch shop. And we got 2 different merch shops to choose from. We got one in New Creations by Jen.
Hello, everyone. Everyone loves merchandise, whatever it's about. It's people love to get it for whatever reason, for holidays, for birthdays, for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa presents, whatever kind of thing. Why not give you another place to where you can go and get some awesome merch? Popular for all kinds of different reasons, this is New Creations by Jen. It's an amazing shop where you can find all sorts of Wheel of Time inspired merch. It's also the only place where you can go and join the Frosty Mug Society. To give an example, our own Black Tower podcast, Frosty Mug, is a part of the Frosty Mug Society. Now, there are a total of 6 as of the time that I'm talking now, Frosty Mugs in the Frosty Mug Society on New Creations by Jen. And those span several different content creators from the Wheel of Time content creator community. You can go and get the Black Tower Podcast one, Malkir Talks, Talk Around Riyadh, The Will Reads, The Will Weaves, and of course, Weekly Will News. All 6 of those content creators, again, including us, have Frosty mugs, and they all look super dope. Jen does an amazing job. So make sure you go and get one and join the Frosty Mug Society. Beyond the mugs, there are the Frosty mugs. There are regular mugs that you can get. There are t-shirts that you can get with all kinds of different designs on them that are inspired or by the content creator platform suggestions they've sent in, or just overall Wheel of Time inspired items. You can find menswear, ladies wear, unisex wear, hats, all kinds of really dope stuff. Now, if you don't want to just get content creator based stuff and you want more just Wheel of Time inspired stuff, make sure you check out Weekly Will News's section of New Creations by Jen, and that's where you can find all things from Gator Shufas to Out There Forums tees to dice cups and die to coasters to just everything that we have seen Rob with Weekly Will News put out over forever. And you can find it here under the Weekly Will News on New Creations by Jen. This is an epic site that is only overshadowed by how epic the items and the owners are. Again, Rob and Jen put in a ton of work. They work really well together and really well with the creators that want to be a part of this. So it's fantastic. So make sure you head on over to newcreationsbyjen.com and get yourself your very own Black Tower Podcast Frosty mug. And while you're there, make sure you pick up anything from the vast assortment of Wheel of Time inspired merchandise.
And we've got some super cool designs there. And then with the other one we got is a spread shirt. There's 2 buttons. They're right next to each other. You can't miss them. We got a ton of designs there. Some fresh new designs that have just gone up. A couple of new designs in the works that are going to go up here pretty quick. Go there. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. I guarantee.
I guarantee it.
Oh, and if you're in the Utah area, this one's very, very important. If you are in the Utah area and you would like to meet the Crystal Barista, long time sponsor of the show, she is hosting an event in Utah at the Davis Conference Center that you can attend February 27th to 28th. Come on down. There will be geode cracking, gold panning, all the good fun stuff. Everything your heart ever desired with rocks. They will also, I believe, do not quote me on this part, they will also be releasing a list of rock hounding sites that they are going to be going on this summer. So do not miss it. Tune in online, facebook.com/rockpick, all one word, like I've been working on the railroad, except for with a hammer, not a hammer, a rock pick. So like with rocks. Can you see that? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. You do not want to miss this. It's going to be awesome. It's sponsored by Gem Quality Real Estate and the American Rock Shop, which is another rock shop here at Layton Hills Mall. Super cool, super awesome. Do not miss.
Indeed.
Yep. So with that said, let's get ready to get into our topic. And as you know here at the Black Tower, we are no fear of knowledge that spans the entire series. So everybody needs to be protected before we go into that. And so we're going to go ahead and roll on your spoiler condoms for you now.
This episode contains spoilers from the entire Wheel of Time series.
If you have not read the series, you are at risk of being spoiled.
You have been warned.
Ta-da!
Super great shout out and thanks to Michael Kramer and Kay Redding. You guys, we love you so much. Thank you so much for recording that for us. Are grateful to you always.
Love.
And speaking of love,
I don't know what I was just doing.
I don't know what you were doing either.
Guys,
Please never
I'm
do that
half
show
out
over.
of it. I'm super tired because I slept like shit last night. I definitely didn't stay up until like 2:45 getting the very late last episode uploaded and everything to YouTube and Patreon.
I mean,
there are more important things than sleep.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so we're going to talk about...
To be fair.
We're going to talk about Valentine's Day in the Wheel of Time.
Indeed.
Which, to my knowledge, there's not an actual day that is called, obviously, Valentine's Day.
What? They don't have a St. Valentine and a Hallmark? Psh,
who drove the snakes out of Ireland, then? Huh?
Who
did
got
that?
all the snakes?
Who took the snakes out of Ireland and then forced us to buy chocolates and roses for our ladies? Who did that?
I think it was actually Samael.
That son of a bitch. He owns shares.
Actually, I take that back. I'm
oldie.
fairly certain that it was Matrim Cawthon. He is the one who's seen the snake people.
He's the love guru. My guru had a guru.
No, he's the one
Such a
who's
good
seen
movie.
the snake people in Wheel of Time the most. And he did drive them back into their own place.
Ooh. New headcanon.
So,
Matrim Cawthon is Saint Valentine. Oh,
no, he does do it with an Ashandarai rather than a flute.
Did you know that there is a link between Wheel of Time and the Disney movie Hunchback of Notre Dame?
you're a link.
Stop.
What's the link?
They both have a Feast of Fools.
Oh, no. Whoa, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
The Feast of Fools. Now, we just missed that. That was in January. The Feast of Fools was
celebrated
in
during the month of Tammuz in Eredamon and the Borderlands. And Chaldeen, which apparently is everywhere.
Dude, you just broke me. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Well
it's
done.
the day in which rank is flip-flopped.
So we need to find next
Wait,
time,
does that
next
mean-
January, we need to record
January.
a Feast of Fools episode. Put that on the calendar.
Also, I think I've figured out. I'm going to say that Guidel Kane is canonically the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Brigitte would then be canonically Esmeralda.
I mean, you're not wrong there. Guidel Kane is said to be like supremely
The most
ugly,
hideous human.
and
then
Brigitte
Brigitte's like,
is
nah,
supremo
he's my man.
capable. Like, you're not wrong there.
Oh, wait, does
that's
that
a
mean
good
that
parallel?
Mogedion is Frollo?
I would say no.
What?
Mogedion is too hot to be Frollo. Sorry. No. Frollo
But she
is
wants that Brigitte ass.
Frollo is Pedron Niall. That's who Frollo is.
It's so accurate.
Which I don't know if that's good or bad. Like it shows.
Hellfire.
So
This
real quick.
burning chlamydia.
who do you think is the most like lovingest? Well, let's start off
Yeah,
with this.
so-
Who has the best love story?
So I was
In
going
the
to say,
Wheel of
let's
Time.
everybody think, if you have not already,
I already know who I
your
think has the
top
best love story.
in Wheel of Time and your bottom most love story in Wheel of Time. And I want,
Top and bottom, huh?
yeah, and I want to make this specific Galad and Egwene is not there because you can't hate their love story just because you hate Gawain. Gawain's trash.
Okay.
No, I can hate the love story.
Why you don't like their love story other than it's because of Duck Sauce Packing Boy. Just have other reasons besides Gawain is trash.
I already know exactly who I think has the best love story in the book series. So
All right,
you guys take your time while I cue up some Jeopardy music.
No, you're going.
Oh, am I going?
You're going. You just volunteered.
Okay, so who has the best love story in the Wheel of Time? It's gotta be Brigida and Guy Dalkane. Like, I'm sorry, what's better than than two people who love each other so much that they find each other, fall in love with each other, and lives their lives together in every single spinning of the wheel? Their love was so powerful that the wheel itself was like,
nah,
cool. These guys are together.
Terrible.
They're together.
We got spun out to the same road over and over again and have to deal with the same person every time.
Andrew,
no, it's not the same person every time.
They're different. Well, it's the same
look
soul. It's the same soul.
They look different. They act different. Sometimes
Gaidel's always ugly.
Romani strippers.
He always has.
I don't give a shit. I'm always ugly. Like, you got nothing. Whatever, Gaidel. Like, that's your selling point. You're always ugly.
That's what's going on here. Andrew's just jealous that Gaidel is ugly in every life like him, and he gets a hottie like Brigida.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Wait, maybe you're Gaidel in this life.
It does not guarantee that Guy Dalkane gets a hottie in Brigida every time. It does not specify that.
You know what? You're not
gorgeous
wrong.
Every time.
Okay, Andrew, I need you to go to archery ranges. That's where you'll find your Brigida.
Find a woman with a braid and lock that shit down.
He's the one that goes through the Rolodex of her exes, and every last one is a fucking like quintessential, stereotypical like anime convention troll of a guy.
So
we're not making fun of people's appearance; it's just generic humor.
Well, I also just
if you're offended by it, then plastic surgery exists.
Or there are other podcasts.
The Wheel of Time that are just always described that way, and I fucking love it. Every single time you see Chelvannon on the page, it's like, God, this motherfucker is so
He's a fat fuck.
How does he steal horses? And then every time you see Ulver on page, it's like, God, this kid is not going to be winning any beauty contests. But man, is he good. But man, is he smooth.
I just don't like the trope
every
of the
single
relationship.
time, it's like, Guy Dalkane, ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. But man, is he good at shit.
But I think that gives something to the story, though. I think that gives something to the story that they're so close and that their souls are so like magnetized to each other that nothing can separate them. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. Like I would agree that it is. And I think I'm a little jaded because I've seen it in so many different things where it's like, a love so strong that even fate couldn't keep us apart. Like, nah, go fuck yourself.
I mean, okay, I can see that.
Like, it's just a trope of it I don't like. I mean, they're probably actually a really good couple. It probably is completely justified. I'm not going to say it's not. I mean, it's got to be love. It definitely can't be lust or looks. At least from one side to the other. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you look at the relationship, since we put the qualifier on talking about Egwene's relationship, then that's fair. That's fair. Fucking duck sauce.
Fucking duck sauce. Maybe some people love duck sauce. Do you ever thought to think about that?
I was also going to say, technically...
Yeah, some people love mass murder, too. Doesn't mean they're justified.
Wow! Okay.
You heard it here first, folks.
I am not one of those people.
Duck sauce are synonymous and equivalent.
Okay, that is a fucking logical fallacy right there.
I also want to...
Let me send you the Creator's Guide to Debates with all the fallacies in it so you can fix yourself, sir.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
I love that Andrew did throw out there that it wasn't lust or looks. However, it does specify that Brigitte, when she is ripped from Teleran Riyadh and put into the world, she very much seems to be really into ugly.
That's true.
Or
that is true.
Conventional ugliness, because to her,
one woman's trash is another woman's treasure.
Exactly. That's what I was literally about to say.
On a real note there, though, I even love how she'll be like, yeah, he's got a nice ass, but he's too pretty for me.
Right?
And
God,
I can identify with that,
brother?
Though.
Man, he is a well-turned calf, but Galat is
way too pretty. Way too. And it's funny, though, because my wife will say this all the time. She'll be like, you can't date someone who's prettier than you are, because you're just not going to ever be happy, because they're more concerned with how pretty they are.
Obviously, you didn't listen to that.
Oh, I listened to it.
It's like that scene from Gumball. It's like, what is she doing with a man like you? Shh. I don't think she knows she could do better.
Exactly. I often say she only made one mistake ever, and that was don't tell her that.
I will try.
She's right behind you.
Brigitte and Gaidel Kane. That's my pick.
Right.
That's the best. That's the best love story in the Wheel of Time, according to your Sorovan Mahale.
All right, Andrew,
That's
do you
fair.
have one?
Oh, still thinking.
That's fine. I do. My choice for best love story throughout the entire Wheel of Time series is Nynaeve and Lan.
Okay.
And honestly, it's one of those ones where it's weird, because it goes through so much, but that's actually why I think it's so good. Because again, you start off with this idea that it's, Arwen and Aragorn, where Arwen's 500 years old and Aragorn's a kid, but he's only like 90. And in the story, again, that's the same thing with Nynaeve and Lan in some ways, because Nynaeve is like 25 and Lan is, at least pushing 60s on like the like conservative side.
Well, it's even worse than Padme and Anakin.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah. And so it already starts from a place of just like weird or like very, very different world experience. But it's also so pure. It's so pure. And it comes on so strong right away. Both of them feel it. It's like practically love at first sight. And Lan fights it tooth and fucking nail for like a while afterwards. But even then, you're like, he feels it. He's just fighting it. It's not that like he's not interested. It's just that he's like, this is a bad idea.
So I feel what you're saying, and I'll even go along with it, because like they've got some of the best lover scenes in the series. I mean, you can't say the golden crane flies for Tarman Gaidon. Does he ride alone? Without chills. Like, I'm getting chills right now just quoting it. Nynaeve and Lan have so many of those scenes together that I can see why you're ranking this relationship up there, and I'm in a full agreement.
Yeah.
My one detraction, my one dissenting opinion.
Dissension in the tower. We swore never again.
Shit. My one differing opinion, but will not lead to rebellion within the tower, is that where the fuck did it come from?
That's
what
I was kind of saying.
And this is the thing, is like, I remember reading this the first time through going, what? Where the fuck did that come from? And then reading it through again and again and again, and kind of doing the thing that I say, a good story shouldn't make you fill in the plot holes, with a couple of exceptions. And in this case, I find Wheel of Time to be an exception a lot. because we see a lot of these types of things happening. But remember, the story is written largely from people's points of view. So if you recall, the first time we find out that Lan and Nynaeve are in love, it's because Rand is like, oh, I gotta get up in the middle of the night. It's like, oh, what's Nynaeve doing talking to that big burly man Lan? Oh.
Oh God, she's crying. What the fuck do I do?
What's gone crazy. She's over there talking to a oh, that's Lan. Never mind.
Why is she talking to that tree stump? Oh, that's Lan. Which is legit because he was wearing his warder's cloak.
Why does that tree stump look like it's moving?
But
why does that stone have an erection? What the fuck?
So in this particular case, I'm kind of willing to give it a pass. Let's be honest, it's mostly because of my love for the series. I'm willing to give it a pass because A, I love Nynaeve. B, I love Lan. C, I feel like these two people are stubborn and badass enough that it makes sense. There's chemistry there automatically. So for them to fall in love, that's not a truly unbelievable portion of the story. But you also read it from Rand's point of view, who Rand at this point in time is so clueless.
Yeah, he doesn't even think Nynaeve's a woman.
Well, and not only that, but he's in his
he doesn't even look at her like he's like
Rand is the kind of guy that can watch Dora the Explorer and not find the mountains. He can watch Blue's Clues and not see the big blue paw print.
Can you see where the paw print is?
I don't know where I'm going. What should I use to help me?
The map.
That's the quote of the night right there.
Rand's just sitting there, monkey.
Rand is the kind of guy who would be a Dora and not be able to find the mountain. Fuck you, Rand. You're that dumb.
No, but here's where I will agree and disagree with you. Is that I love how real Wheel of Time is, and I know that you do as well. That's not a, but it's definitely there are.
I'm gonna hate that series. It's too long.
There are so many people in the world who are best friends for 10 years.
Sure.
And then they realize that they've actually kind of been in love this whole time. And then they start going out and it works out and they get married and they live happily ever after.
Like Sex Drive.
There are other people. There are other people where, they are
a movie.
looking.
It is like a movie.
And say they go on Tinder, or they go on Bumble, or they go on Plenty of Fish, or a Christian Mingle, or Farmers Only, or who the fuck cares. And they find people that they're attracted to, and then they go on dates, find out if they have this attraction, and then go from there, live happily ever after, all of that different stuff. But then there are people who walk by each other on the street and go, fuck.
Oh. That's something we got to do. Just had an idea. Once we get done talking about our favorite relationships, then we have to go through and pick 3 to 5 characters that would use which ones of the different dating apps and sites.
But yeah, so I love the realism of
this
number of characters. I mean, Moraine and Tom is a great example of they are like building that love story behind the scenes for a long time before anybody actually even really says anything, before anybody does anything about it, before whatever. That's a thing. Then there's, Matt and Melindra who are sort of building a relationship all the way up until the point where she almost tries to kill him. And then there are people who Lan walks into the village. Nynaeve's panties drop. And then Nynaeve finds where Lan and Moraine are camping, and Lan's panties drop. Like
his panties did drop. Because not
are
only
you wearing women's underwear? No, this is the latest in stealth underclothes.
Stealth small clothes.
When you don't have that much cloth on the back and just a string, it doesn't rub and make noise.
It's just a single thread and a nice little cup.
Yeah, I'm not actually disagreeing with your statement, Josh, that it kind of comes out of nowhere in some ways, that it's not one that's built on a lot of foundation, but that's actually one of the reasons I like it. Is the that like there are so many different varieties of love story in the real world, and there are so many different varieties of love story in the Wheel of Time. In fact, even going to something that all of us have a little bit of PTSD about in some ways, Matt feels real grief and real caring for Tylin after she's dead. And that started with Tylin being like, ooh, he cute. He got a nice well-turned calf. And raping him. And then he does actually develop feelings. And I don't think it's like a Beauty and the Beast Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing. I think he actually really does come to appreciate Tylin's strengths, even after going ahead and starting on a really bad foot, if you will.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
I love the like vast array of different love stories, or at least feelings stories, or different things that are in the books. And in my opinion, as far as the relationship is concerned, I think Nynaeve and Lon start very believably, and then they go through so much stuff, and at the end they are still standing.
Yeah.
And still, like, again, as you just said, you get to some of the last books, and Nynaeve has these
some of the best scenes.
Fucking lines.
And if this world runs out of lovers, we still have each other. Nothing's going. Oh God.
Oh man, Josh.
That was a nice crack.
I promise that will not be the content I present when I submit my song to the Dusty Wheels sing-along.
Well, then I am
competition.
disappointed, Josh. If that doesn't happen in your performance, I will be disappointed.
Oh, you will be disappointed. Well, I will attempt to make you disappoint then.
All right, fair enough.
Is that fair?
Andrew?
Okay. Andrew,
got a good amount of time to think. I'm not putting you on the spot.
And you can't say
you have one.
And you can't say Val and Luca in Nynaeve, because Nynaeve didn't end up with Val and Luca.
Well, that's a good thing that wasn't the one I was thinking of.
Sure. Now he's thinking of another one right now.
No,
Quick.
Of course not.
TikTok.
No, so mine is, and I kind of hate to choose it because it feels like I'm one of those kind of people when you talk about like favorite characters and stuff. I always hate picking from like the main cast of characters and stuff.
Sure.
Or like the top 3 main ones, but I kind of have to for this one, and it's Rand and Min. It's my favorite relationship in the whole series
Because
it's what I want.
I
Really?
can fuck with
I want
that.
the pretty girl that just
land?
randomly.
So the Bijan Khan.
Sorry, I will
Bijan Khan. What the fuck is the
in the
Bijan
next
Khan?
38 seconds.
Aman Khan. Aman Khan Gar has been.
I'm just kidding. I completely agree.
Decommissioned.
Yeah, he said it again. Take the shot. Take the shot. Do it now.
Oh, look, some wine.
But no, like I like it because like whenever I think of relationships that I want and that kind of stuff, like that's the kind of relationship I'd want. I legit thought that my fucking internet went stupid and everything froze for a second there. I was like, oh shit, you know,
I'm
good
still
job.
alive. I'm still alive. You'll have
But
to
no,
try
because she's
harder
like,
than that.
she's more than comfortable to, in a respectful manner, be affectionate with Rand. She knows kind of the line, unless there's a goal behind it. I mean, she still knows the line, but if she's doing PDA in front of people, there's a goal, there's an incentive, there's a reason behind it. And she's just incredibly supportive.
Smart. She's very smart.
Is.
And I like a girl that is wearing tight pants over a girl wearing a dress any day, except for like one exact circumstance.
Little known fact.
That's the one exception, but but you know they made those jeans with where it has the zipper that follows the ass crack. So that one.
Yeah. No.
Little known fact that in the 4th age,
imagine if you shit your pants in those pants. Like you're super sick and shit your pants in those pants.
Dribbles through the zipper.
Little
you got a
known
leak,
fact,
girl.
in the 4th age, Min was actually studying text from the Age of Legends and brought back / invented yoga pants. That's canon.
Jeggings.
So we have Min to thank for 4th age yoga pants.
Oh yeah, dude, come on.
I'm raising it. I'm raising the taint.
Though I will throw out there, I think probably what would have happened had he gotten a chance is that the inventor would have come up with yoga pants because of Min. But unfortunately, he gets killed by a golem. So Min has to do it herself.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Fell absolutely would have gone ahead and made yoga pants next. He would have been like, hey, Rand, get Min to wear these.
He was
pretty girl.
I will say this, though, because he was pretty concerned with Min. Like, don't bring her. She's a distraction. And it's because he'd be doing like this. Like, Herod Fell is Myron. You know, he's like... he'd be like, Rand.
Well, and my favorite part is, like, Rand would be in the middle of a sentence. And he'd be like, all right, Herod, so it says in the prophecies of the dragon that there was this thing that was gonna...
You guys are gonna have to see this on video. But it's the classic bro/wingman move when you see something that looks pretty and you're out and all your bros are talking. Maybe, and when I say bros, I'm referring to your group. When all your group is talking, and don't at me on this because my bros are both men and women.
Yes. His wife does this, by the way.
My wife does this. So
my wife.
So when we're out at places, we're like, you know, hey, we see something pretty, male or female. We're like, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, dude, when you see a well-turned calf, you gotta
when you see a well-turned calf, you have to appreciate it.
Doesn't matter what sex it is. You let people know, man.
And I would call foul if something beautiful did not walk by that you did not at least be like, hey. No, don't be creepy about it. Don't be stupid with it. Just
and
admire.
And honestly, that Gillette commercial or whatever, where the guy is like standing outside the store and the girl walks by and he like goes to go after, and the other guy's like, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. That again, don't be creepy about it. There's a line, there's an appreciation, and then there's you being a dick. Don't go from one to the
other. I'm not even gonna talk about that fucking commercial.
It's really just the
boys will be boys.
Fuck you, Gillette.
Boys will be boys.
No, fuck you, Gillette. There's a reason I don't use your shit anymore.
There's
boys will be boys.
Honestly, I don't like that commercial. It's not a great commercial. But that one scene has spawned so many memes of just like me, my depression, my medication. Like, it's so good. I fucking love those.
That's accurate.
Here for the memes.
Yeah, basically.
So, to close this out, did you know that there is a holiday? It's the closest holiday that I can find that's similar to Valentine's Day, but it's more similar. It's like an official holiday, but it's more similar to anniversaries than necessarily Valentine's Day.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, do you remember what it's called?
I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Shanahar.
Yes.
Shanahar.
This is actually, I think this is.
It's all day.
I'm referring to. I know you're referring to Perrin and Fail, and I gotta
I'm referring to the holiday. I don't give a fuck about Perrin and Fail. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think that's where we find it. Yeah,
that's where we find it out. And here's the thing. Here's what I gotta say about this, because I feel like I give Fail a lot of shit because I don't like her a lot. However, this is her big moment of redemption, in my opinion. She approaches Perrin and she says, look, I have done a lot of work to turn you into a lord, to sort of to force these things upon you for your own good, which is why we hate
training you wasn't easy.
Yeah. But she does sit there and she goes, look, I have been so wrapped up in teaching you my customs that I have not at all tried to learn some of your customs. Which is why Fael is kind of a garbage person, because she's like, my customs are all important and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. But she has a moment here where she's like, oh shit, I should do something for the man I love because that's what he would like. And she goes to Tam Althor, Zaddy, and says, look, I love Perrin. I want to celebrate this with him. This is how we do it in Shinar. What do I do? What do you guys do in the two rivers? Saldea. I meant that. That's what I meant. I was testing you, and you passed. Good job.
Thank you.
But
the Borderlands.
Yeah, and she says this is what we do. And I don't know. It just, to me, it feels really good for her to acknowledge, hey.
Because she takes him out to a hilltop and they spend the night together.
Yeah, right? But she acknowledges that other culture and says, I want to celebrate your home as well as my home, because I recognize that this is us joining together and creating something new. And I just love that.
And I really want to throw out there real quick. I know that we've talked about this a lot, and all of us here at the Black Tower think Fael is a bad person. Not a bad character. She's actually a pretty good and very
amazing character.
But she's very hard to like. But I do want to throw out there one of the reasons that she's not actually in the sort of like lowest tier of characters are those moments.
Yes.
She is not unredeemable. She's just a problem. Because again, she knows what she needs to do and just does it when it comes to killing Masima. He needs to go. He needs to go.
Can I say this is one thing I
takes it upon herself to do it because she knows that it will live with Perrin forever if somebody makes him do it. She understands who she's married to and knows that he will have a much harder time living with himself if he's the one who needs to do it. When it comes to him finding out that his family has all been killed, she doesn't continue this stupid charade of, oh, you're following me to the two rivers. Loyal is bringing me. She takes a second and goes, the person I'm in love with needs me right now.
She does the Lily Marshall pause.
Yeah, she does. And again, it's definitely
That's beautiful.
It's a lot of annoying on the one side of frustrating thing, frustrating personality, trait, frustrating whatever. But there is that other column that some characters don't fucking have. Like Elida is just terrible column after terrible column after terrible column with little to no redemption on the other side at all. Gawain is mostly terrible column with
very little redemption.
Exactly. On the other side. But, there are those nice moments between other characters, and Fael is one of them, and this is one of those really nice moments of their anniversary. The I have been stubborn.
Yes.
Let me be a little less stubborn.
And she
and then
does
go back
it
to being
and
like
then
halfway in between.
She goes back to being
which is like
she always does because that is her natural state.
There are plenty of people that like
to that.
There are plenty of people that like the relationship. I personally don't.
Yes, I agree.
If Perrin wanted with somebody else, like in the TV show, like I would be more than happy.
I said on the Dusty Wheel that I want them to combine Berylane and Fael, and I just want it to be Berylane and have her do a number of things that Fael does with Perrin, but I'd like it to just be Berylane, and then Galad just doesn't end up with anybody.
And I say that because we spent
that part I'm in 100% agreement with. I would love for Galad to be alone, simply for the irony that everybody talks about. Like we joke about Chell Vannon, and every time you say Chell Vannon, you say fat. Mm-hmm. Every time you say Galad, you say beautiful. I would love for Galad to be alone at the end of the series.
Guy.
That would be so perfect. Rafe, I know you listen to the show. Tell
this is our vote.
everyone, Gilad needs to be alone at the end of the series. Make him beautiful. Get the most beautiful actor you can find to play him, and then have him be alone at the end.
Anyway, Andrew, you were
I was what?
you were going to say something.
I will say this though for Perrin and Fael, because clearly Andrew forgot because I distracted him, and that's cool. I will take this chance. Perrin and Fael, I like their relationship on a realistic level. Okay? Because how many times have you gone to your buddy's house and he and his wife and or girlfriend and or significant other
Have a terrible relationship? And you're just like,
yeah, they do things that you would never do. Like I've gone over to people's houses and they'd be like, you know, oh, they start arguing and shouting in front of each other, saying and doing things that I would, first off, never do in front of anyone else. And second off, never do in private. Like,
yeah.
Like I know people, like I knew a guy who'd be like, why you gotta be such a bitch about this? Okay, I would never say that. Not only because I'm afraid of dying, but it's also just a really disrespectful thing to say.
It's
like,
so disrespectful.
It's a horrible thing to say. Why would you ever say? And then there are people out there who are like, "Oh, that's cool. I was being a bitch, so they can call me a bitch. That's cool." No, like for me, that's not okay. For other people,
but there are other people
okay.
who have other standards and have other expectations.
Yeah. So when you talk about Perrin and Fael, like I would look at that as, okay, you know what, dude? I don't agree with your relationship, but it's your relationship.
Yes.
So
no, and that is
you do you, and I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna hope that when I get a significant other that you don't like, that you give me the same respect that I'm giving you now,
right?
And we can still all be friends.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we?
God, I love that.
No,
song.
I completely agree with that because, again, I don't like the relationship as stated, but I do appreciate very much this is real.
And Fael is very loyal to Perrin.
She is
like
kind of obnoxiously loyal. And like to the point where it's actually offensive, but
and as Perrin is loyal to her.
Yes.
So, and really when it comes to a relationship, that's
one of the most important things. Yeah.
When you're loyal to your significant other, that's what matters. What everybody else thinks, that's their opinion.
Basically.
And so that's what I think is great about, and I feel like in Robert Jordan's amazing way of writing, and in Brandon Sanderson's amazing way, Branderson, good old Branderson, they do a really great job of portraying.
We know you're listening.
Yeah. When are we good for magic again? You can kick my ass at magic again. Humble brag flex. What? No, when it comes to these relationships, I think Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson do a really great job of portraying relationships that we don't necessarily think would be good for us, which is good. Yes. You shouldn't. Like, yes. My view of the world is not the same as Daniel's view of the world, is not the same as Andrew's view of the world, is not the same as any of your views of the world. And that's good. It shouldn't be the same. So when I read these books and I see people interacting with each other in a way that I do not agree with, good. That gives the book realism. And it's interesting. And the irony is not lost upon me to say that it gives the story realism in a situation that is completely unreal. But humans are humans, right? Like humans are humans.
Yes, the floor is made of floor.
The floor is made of floor. No matter where you are.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Who do you guys think has the worst relationship?
Andrew, do you
to trigger everyone? Because we haven't done that
one
enough.
Or do you need some time to think?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to think. I mean, I thought we were gonna move into the dating apps after this.
Dating apps. That's right.
We're doing worst relationships. So
I got caught up in a tangent.
Ravine and Morgaze, or Lord Jabril and Morgaze.
That's a good
Lord
one.
Gabriel.
God, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's trash.
I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to even like legitimately define it as a relationship, but it is. And you're right. It's horrible, and it is. Like
I think that's my vote too. I think that's like an unequivocal, like.
I mean, it's one of the things. Even if somebody's forced into a relationship, like it's still a relationship.
Yeah,
because there's still a relationship there.
And even when you talk about like,
so it's not hard to define it as a relationship.
Yeah.
It's just definitely not a good one.
I'm agreeing with you on all counts.
Even when you talk about Grendel and her manipulation of other people's emotions, she doesn't like intimately involve herself in a particular person. She's just like, everybody worship me. So everybody gets the same. Gabriel or Jabril or Gerbil. I'm going to call him Lord Gerbil. Gerbil. Lord Gerbil.
Stay away from Richard Gere.
No, maybe he should spend some time with Richard Gere, motherfucker. After what he did to Morgaze, after what he did to our girl. Like, no,
you ever been dicked down so good you had to go into hiding?
Hey,
it's different.
There's a throwback quote if I ever heard one.
Throwbacks. It's difficult because
Gathering Madness Part 1.
See, that's a quote that works so well with Wheel of Time, but if you had a shirt that said that and you walked around in public with it, you would be on a registry within an hour.
That would
100%.
Okay.
Hey, you ever been licked by a fat man in an overcoat?
Okay, let's go with characters and their dating apps.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Daniel, did you have a different one, or did we just like?
I feel like this is a tunnel we can go down. First off,
no, I like that. I think we're actually legitimately all in agreement. Not for the first time, but it doesn't happen that often. But we are like 100% in the Morgaze and Lord Gabriel bullshit.
It's not, and the thing is that it's not like a bad writing type of opinion.
Yeah, again,
it's not extremely good writing. But the relationship itself
so horrible
is bad. It's just so bad. And it doesn't matter what type of person Morgaze is. You know she's tough. You know she's tough as nails. And for Gerbil to come in and just break her down like that is wrong.
I mean, nails really aren't that tough. Sucks. Like, unless they're really big gauge nails, like even my weak ass can like still bend them. So it's not really saying that much.
Well, Morgaze isn't a tack nail, okay? She's not a finishing nail.
She's like a 9-inch.
She's a galvanized crucifix 9-inch. Can we make that joke?
A 9-inch nail?
Yeah, I don't think we can make that joke.
Why? You can make a 9-inch nail joke.
Can we? Okay. She's a galvanized steel. Galvanized.
You're describing a nail that happens to share. No, the band shares a nail with a nail description.
Yeah, exactly.
Nails. You can't just hammer her in with a regular old hammer.
I swear, if we get like fucking copyright claim by 9-inch nails just because we said their name, that's going to be the pettiest of petty.
Well, Trent Reznor listens to our show.
And it's fine because if 9-inch nails was to get petty, they're nowhere near as good as Ice 9 Kills. So.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
I get petty. I don't listen to you guys anyway.
I would even say that Gerbil is probably one of the worst Forsaken for that reason.
I mean, in terms of success of goal, he's honestly like one of the better.
He's super one of the better ones. But yeah, he's
one of the few that actually accomplishes something that's tangible and useful to the shadow for a while.
Yes, I'm talking about like moral content. Like the dude is a shithole.
He's a Forsaken. He shouldn't be moral.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Making a list of 15 to 20 characters and then popping them in.
I think just what character pops into your head.
Yeah. So we'll go through the dating apps, and of course we'll start with the most like famous with Tinder, and we'll pick 3 to 5 characters. Let's just stick with 3. Each one of us picks a character that you could imagine if they lived now in the first age, that they would definitely, this would be their go-to dating app. Assuming that assuming they're all single and everything else.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Tinder. Who?
And I might would say that we shouldn't choose Matt for any of them because I feel like Matt would use all of them.
I know. I think Matt is on FetLife.
I think Matt is on every single one. Like he's that guy that that person that you go to different dating apps and you always come across.
And he's also on Christian Mingle and also on Jews for Dating and also on Muslim Date and also on even though he doesn't actually ascribe to
he's probably on Grindr too, to be fair.
So 100%. He's on Grindr. We're going to accept the common headcanon that Matt is a poly. He is.
Yeah.
He's at the very least he's bi. Come on. And I'm okay with this. I'm happy with this. Yeah. And that he's on every dating app.
Every single one. So
even if he's not actively there.
Known to be on every single one.
Matt he has a profile on each one.
He only uses like 4 of them regularly, but he has made a profile.
He only uses Farmers Only when he goes back home to the Two Rivers.
Also, I want to throw out there that
this is freaking one of the
these are paid sites. He just dices a tavern for the evening, gets the join fee for whatever, and he's on Match.com.
Yeah, he's lucky enough to get a special promo to test it out where he never has to pay for any of them.
Matt,
there you go.
Here's the thing with Matt. Like when he logs into it, it's because first off, Matt has 100 different personalities in his head. Yeah. Right? He's got 100 different people in his so I'm kind of giving him a little bit of leeway here. He's not a complete man.
One of his personalities is Christian.
Exactly. Exactly. And several of his personalities are gay. Several of his personalities are trans. As a matter of fact, and please forgive me here for this, for kind of venturing into this area, but if they wanted to make pronouns a thing in the series and the TV series, Matt would be a prime candidate for being a they, them, and making the story work.
Sure. I agree with that.
It would not be out of nowhere, hey, by the way, my pronouns are. No, it would be a way to introduce that into the story in a way that makes sense. And I would love it. I think it would be positively awesome.
Indeed. All right, so Tinder.
You're first, Daniel.
Who do you got? I'm first.
Who's on Tinder?
Right,
Who's on Tinder?
I think Barreline is on Tinder, and she promises that it's for hookups, but she never hooks up with anyone.
Oh!
She says all you have to do is Snapchat her and you'll hook up. But
and subscribe to her OnlyFans.
Yeah. It's not even her OnlyFans. She just asks you if you. I'm $20 short on my electricity bill. If you could Venmo me $20, or I'm stuck out of town. I need $20 to get home. Like, go fuck yourself.
So Barreline,
I don't even know about that. I don't even know if it's about money. I feel like 9 times out of 10, it's just like, go ahead and join my Snapchat and then do me a favor. Can you move these troops to this area instead of the one they're in now?
To quote Heath Ledger's Joker. To quote Heath Ledger's Joker, it's not about the money.
Exactly.
It's about sending a message.
Hang on. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Exactly. Who's on Tinder?
I want to know how I got
what you do on dating apps.
I would say Elsie Grinwell.
Ooh. Yes.
She's on Tinder. And she's swiping. She's like, she's out at the Warder training yards being like,
Sets the distance to 5 feet, so it's only the Warders.
Exactly. That's Elsa Grinwell.
I am going to say that for different reasons that Elaine would be on Tinder. And she is the kind of person that would go on Tinder because she lived a sheltered royal lifestyle and grew up that way and is curious.
She'd be like slumming it, being like, ooh, what did the What are the common folk like?
Yeah, she's like matching with commoners from Camelin on Tinder, and her mom, like Morgan comes in and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, that's her fucking
my
phone.
favorite
You got
part.
357 letters that you've matched with people in the city on Tinder.
I was literally about to say that, and then Elaine doesn't actually get to meet any of them. She only has their conversations. She never actually gets to meet a single person she matches with. Because
she stops
always swipes left on nobility, swipes right on the common folk, but then her mom doesn't let her meet them.
And then all the common folk are like, "Can you talk to your mom about easing the taxes on my bar?" And then she's just like, "Unmatch." And it's like in her profile, very top asterisk, all caps, "Do not contact me for political gain."
Yeah. All right.
No,
cool.
She's got to have a pseudonym though. Like, she's not Elaine Trecan. She's Amber Sparkle Tits or something. I don't know.
Sparkle Tits.
As long as she's not Amber Heard, we're good.
Oh, that bitch.
We'll talk about something else fucked up. Anyway.
I think Christian
Josh,
Mingle,
you pick the next app.
I think Christian Mingle is like 100% cornered by the White Cloaks. Like, I think that's just such a perfect parallel.
Yeah, White Cloaks mingle.
Send me a picture of your face. I really don't feel comfortable. Dark friend.
Send me a picture of your ankle.
Send me the ankles now, or you're a dark friend. Don't tell Child Bornhold.
You.
Child Bornhold and Child Bayar. I know you guys are on Twitter, and I want to know if those filthy little fingers are swiping right on whitecloaksmingle.com. I know they are. I know they are. Don't lie.
No.
If you lie, you're a dark friend.
No. This is the thing that I think is true, is that there is an upper echelon of White Cloaks who think they're too good for it. And think that the whole app...
Yeah, that's Galad.
...is... No. Galad's fine with it. He's not on it himself. But he's fine with it. But Child Bornhold, Child Bayar, and Pedrin Nial, actually, sorry, and Eamon Valda are all like, no, fuck this White Cloak mingle shit. It's beneath us. It's filled with people who are just looking for dark. Pedrin Nial was not on it himself either, but he understood its importance. And so he allowed all of his troops to be on White Cloak Mingle.
White cloaking.
Because he knew how important it was to morale. But then Eamon Valda came and took over, and he was like, no, fuck this app, and got it shut down.
And on White Cloaking...
He was a zealot.
On whitecloakmingle.com, you don't swipe right, you swipe light.
No, you don't actually swipe at all.
No,
you have to press the sun.
The swipe light is light.
Just press, swipe, yeah, exactly. You just press the sunburst.
Swipe.
And
swipe
then
light.
There's Dark Friend and
It's sunburst. The joke, okay?
I was going with your joke. Jesus
for my character,
who do you got, Andrew?
I think Kariel Thor would have been on Christian Mingle.
Okay. I think sites like Christian Mingle would be popular in places like the Two Rivers.
Not because of that's not her only one, but
yeah, not because of like specifically like with Christianity, but because they share similar
looking for a good
small town values,
history of fighting wars, willing to bring me a random infant from the side of a mountain. Must believe in the creator.
Oh look. This man Tam just came into town with a fresh baby boy. Swipe right. Wait, can I swipe light?
Yeah. Can I just say real quick? I know that everybody who's read the books knows that this is not true. And I appreciate that, again, Tam is an incredibly trustworthy man and all of that different stuff. But I do love the idea of Tam coming into town with a baby and going to his wife and being like, yes, I definitely picked it up off the side of her. And her being like, you're an attractive dude, Tam. You're really good at what you do.
Walks in the house. Can we keep it? Can we keep it? Can we keep it?
You didn't just fuck another woman and bring me back her baby.
This is okay. This is actually one.
I know that we were talking about surrogacy because I'm barren, but this is not how I wanted to have this.
This is not what I had in mind. This is actually one thing that they do in Game of Thrones quite frequently, and I would say is a bit of a realistic thing. You've got nobility creating bastards with, you know, women of ill repute. And, or is that correct? Can I say that? I don't know.
Well, it depends on what you're saying. Are you talking about whores? Because that would be... Yes, okay.
Whores.
If you're talking about just commoners, then no.
Or just whoever they decide they want to be with.
Sure.
And so in a Game of Thrones setting, Tam showing back up to town with a baby would be like, oh, okay. It's a real Ned Stark move. But okay. You just show up with a baby and it's not yours.
Well, except the Ned Stark. I love how the Ned Stark thing is the opposite of that, because he comes home with a baby and goes, yeah, no, it's definitely mine.
Actually,
and it's 100% not my wife's. And then, of course, later you're like, no, it's not. You lying sack of shit.
Listen here, you son of a bitch.
Why did you go with the worst of the two options? And of course, you know why.
But he ends. Yeah.
But
so,
still.
No, I love where we're at with this particular aspect in the story, because you're right. I mean, Tam kind of goes off to find his fortune, comes home with a baby, and he's like, oh, yeah, Kari's...
He's gone for at least 9 months. Like, it takes a while. So
I mean, while he was gone, he earned a Heron marked sword.
Like, right? Exactly.
You don't
while
just
he was
do
gone,
that.
he had plenty of time to father a child, have it be born, and then bring it home and be like, no, I found it on this table. No.
I would suggest that he married Kari after returning from the wars, and I don't know if it actually specifies that or not. But I would suggest that that's what he does, because he spent that much time.
It would be after the wars.
The Two Rivers. Yeah. So
it would be after he finished with being in the Ileana army and wanted a new place to settle down.
Precisely.
In which case, I guess Kari Althor would not necessarily have a leg to stand on to be angry at him. But still, I do like the idea.
She raised him and loved him as best she could.
And again, I absolutely love the idea that it's the opposite of the Catelyn Stark response. Which, again, Catelyn had more of a leg to stand on. They were already married when he brought this child home. So I'm not saying that it's not a different situation. I get that. I appreciate that very much. But Kari, I feel, very much chooses to believe Tam's story.
Well, and when you have Tam coming...
whatever, and doesn't doubt very often, and doesn't sit at home wondering every night and looking at this bastard son like it did something evil to her, because maybe Tam didn't just find it on the side of a mountain.
Not to be crass or anything, but Tam was single when he left.
Yes, exactly. Which is, again, why it's a different situation.
Single young man who goes out to war, and there's a stereotype with soldiers to this day.
What? Say it isn't so.
So when he comes back into town with a child, yes, it takes a special woman to say, okay, cool, I'll accept this, and I will accept this burden. But I don't know. Just
All right, cool. Yes. So the rest of the day,
this whole segment was supposed to be like, kind of funny, jokey, and it's just like Kari Althor would be on Christian Minger. Oh, Mingle.
Kari Althor is an amazing.
It's just like let's go ahead and get into a serious discussion about infidelity, honesty, and war orphans. That's why I'm sitting here the whole time. I'm like, holy fuck,
what have I done?
I'm just trying to be like kind of funny.
You opened up the rabbit's hole now,
the rabbit's hole.
I mean, it's good discussion.
Anyway,
who would be on FetLife other than Matt?
Well, this Daniel, did you have one for Christian Mingle?
I think Bear Lane would be on FetLife.
I actually don't have one for Christian.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, did both of you just not hear me, or is it just go fuck yourself?
What'd you say?
No. I
asked Daniel because we never gave Daniel the chance to see if he had a character.
Oh, shit. Daniel, who's your character?
I really like the idea that it's like 99% White Cloaks. Actually, no, that it's like 85% White Cloaks, and the other 15% is just hillbillies throughout the rest of the world who are like, yeah,
so
Jesus.
Do you have a specific person who would be on there then? No.
No. Honestly, I think we've gone through a handful of people who
random White Cloak soldier number 67.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah. So honestly, the site you mentioned, I have no idea.
I take that back. You know who else would be on Christian Mingle to take advantage of it? Pot on Fame. When he becomes a White Cloak, he's 100% on Christian.
Oh, when
Mingle.
he's Ordeth?
He's on White Cloak Mingle, and he just meets with women and turns them.
Before that, he was on peddlersonly.com.
Yes, Peddlers Only, 100%. So what is FetLife?
Have you?
I don't even know what FetLife is.
Fetish. FetLife. Fetish. Okay. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Birgitta's on FetLife.
I don't know if she is.
No, she is. She likes.
She might be.
And or she likes tying other people up.
Pedro Nile is on FetLife.
Yes.
That's why he's not on Christian Mingle.
Grendel is on FetLife, and that's how she finds her people.
Grendel is definitely on
Grendel
FetLife.
started FetLife.
Probably. I could see that.
So say we all?
So say we all.
Grendel founded FetLife.
Like what Snakes and Foxes said in the live chat. Fael is on FetLife.
Yeah.
Fael, she would definitely. So that would be the market.
She's no longer on FetLife anymore. She was.
Well,
and then she married Perrin.
No, we're irrespective of relationships in this.
You don't stop being on FetLife. Let that sink in.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd rather not let anything related to FetLife sink into me in any way.
Sink in, Andrew.
Like, enjoy your stuff and do what you do, but
let it sink in, Andrew.
I will not be the practice dummy for your sheathing the sword technique.
Wait, does that mean that Perrin's a pup?
Yes, he is most definitely. Oh God.
Perrin spends.
in the beginning, he's an unwilling cuck.
Fael is a puppy trainer, and Perrin is no.
Perrin was an unwilling cuck in the beginning, but there was just no other guy. It was just all emotional cuck.
That's why he's actually so against being a wolf brother.
Shit,
like,
no!
I'm not a pup.
No!
I will not
that means Davram is probably a cuck as well.
Perrin for me. No!
Good.
It makes you feel better. That means that Daddy Davram probably got his name from something like FetLife, and he's probably a cuck as well.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. I feel like...
Does that mean Brodell Iturralde is a bull?
No, Brodell.
Yes.
Brodell Iturralde, he just searched the classified ads on like Facebook.
He's got that big dragon energy. Brodell has a big dragon energy.
He has that little wolf energy.
Perrin has little wolf energy.
No. Rodell is the little wolf. Perrin is young bull. Clearly, we have those swapped.
No. Brodell is the little wolf with big dragon energy. Perrin is the wolf with little pup energy.
Ow, it hurts. It hurts because it's so
But
accurate.
it's sometimes the truth hurts, Daniel.
Yes, that's why I said it hurts because it's so accurate.
As far as Love in the Wheel of Time goes, so
who's on eHarmony?
Jordan, who's on eHarmony?
eHarmony.
Last one. Who's on eHarmony?
Oh man, this one's hard.
Nynaeve. And here's why. Because
here's why
is the only one that has their multi-hundred question survey souvenir whatever to find your perfect match. And Nynaeve's like the only one who takes the time to fill out the damn survey. She's like, question 273. Do you like dogs? No. Question 274. Do you like cats?
Dude, are you
they're
kidding
all
me?
right.
No, it's
Question 270.
question 294. If you were stuck on a desert island and had to bring what would those three things, and also give a short explanation as far as why you would bring those three things in parts A, B, and C of this question.
Nynaeve would be the only one who had the patience to fill it out, because I think Nynaeve's the only one that has the foresight to only fall for
and then
the
she meets
one.
Lon. And then she meets Lon and it gets completely blown out of the water.
I'd say Harrodfell would be on eHarmony.
Oh, yeah.
Harrodfell could be on eHarmony.
Harrodfell.
For research and research only. Of course.
I would say my vote would be Ruark.
I thought about Ruark as well.
Did you?
Yeah,
he's so
that was
strategic. He's so smart, and he takes his time. He takes the
He's
time.
very methodical, yes.
He's very methodical.
I like that.
Unfortunately, then more than one woman matched with him. And they're
damn.
And so now he's got sister wives.
So he's just like, guess I'll have multiple wives.
As long as you guys are okay with it, guess I am too.
And they're like, I can fuck with this.
Well, I also love how that would mean that both of them would just look at the other's profile and be like, yeah, no, I'm also very into you.
I would. I swiped right with her on Tinder last week.
Oh, fuck. I just found her FetLife profile. God damn it.
She likes to play Maiden's Kiss?
Oh.
She's
dude,
dangerous.
I am telling you right now, Matt will never admit to anyone else that
he fucking loved that.
Yeah, and in my understanding of Matt, he goes around telling everyone else who's played Maiden's Kiss, like all the other guys, he's like, yeah, that was terrible. I'll never play that again. While putting on his FetLife profile, will play Maiden's Kiss for hours.
Savannah is on Bumble.
Needs to make the first move.
What is on Bumble? What is Bumble? I didn't even know Bumble.
Bumble is one of those sites that only its big selling point is like for male, female. Only the females can message you. Like you can't match with somebody and send the first message.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically it's
so
not
men
as
would also be on Bumble
as Tinder.
Yeah, but you can't send the first message.
Yeah, exactly. Men would always be the one choosing who she messaged. Yeah.
Okay. I'm down. I'm down. So I'll hit that. Men is on Bumble.
Rand is on Bumble too, just because he never wants to make
because Rand is ultimate subby boy. Let's be honest.
Because he never wants to make the first move.
Rand is a bot. Like Rand is a sub.
He is.
I don't care that he's the Dragon Reborn and he's this big fucking savior of the world.
That's exactly why he's a sub, Josh. So many of the biggest CEOs in the world are subs in their personal life because they're so fucking sick of making all the decisions and having so much power.
It's just a nice
always walking
escape.
around and having people be like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, Lord Dragon, sir, that they go back to Min and they're just like, spank me a few times. Just
By
so that
day, I'm important businessman, but at night, I am bad boy.
Exactly. He's like, Min, comfort me so that I feel bad.
Oh. You know, and here's the thing that again we alluded to this earlier in this episode where I was talking about Robert Jordan loves the subtext. He loves the background story. He loves to give you, the reader, a question. What the hell happened there? Because you didn't see it, because you were reading the story from the point of view of someone who did not even care about that. So that when it popped up, you were like, whoa, what the hell was that? Lon and Nynaeve falling in love. At that point in time, you're mostly from the point of view of Rand or Egwene, and you're not paying attention to what Nynaeve is getting all flustered about. And you definitely can't tell what Lon is talking about because he's a rock. He's a tree stump. You don't know what the man is doing. You don't have the ability to read people.
My goals are beyond your understanding.
Precisely. So when you start talking about these relationships and
4 dimensions ahead,
and we've heard
and everybody else,
and we've heard in interviews and we've read on forums, Robert Jordan didn't like writing love scenes in particular. He didn't like writing, sexy scenes or steamy scenes. He wrote them because that's where the story, kind of naturally went. And he felt like this is important to progress the plot of the story. And he did it in a really tasteful way.
There's that guy that doesn't like sexting, but then his wife sent him a picture of her boobs and he's like, oh, I really love those. I can't wait to get home and do things with you. What would you do?
Things. I just said I can't wait to do things with you. I would
sheathe the sword.
Hide the salami.
Where? In your ear? That's how that works, right?
No. God damn it, woman.
So no, I feel like this is a fun topic because it's one that Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson both kind of flirted with.
Oh yeah.
While at the same time dumping all their energy into it as well, because you have such amazing, very rich love interests and love themes in this story, and they do just such an amazing job of toting the line without jumping overboard, if that makes any sense.
They toe the line without jumping the shark.
Yes,
almost made sense.
You almost made sense.
Also, I want to give a huge honorable mention to our lovely Patreons who said one of the greatest app lines I've ever heard, which is that Swan would be on Plenty of Fish. Amazing.
She would. It's
so good.
It's accurate. She absolutely
It's so good. It's so fisherman only. She'd be the silver pike.
Silver pike
in a world of minnows,
45.
The silver pike.
You have like in a profile, like I'm really kind and sweet, like favorable seas, but the second you cross me, I'll be the silver pike in your net.
But anyway, yes.
Anyway, so Love in the Wheel of Time is a complicated scenario. It's a complicated story. Robert Jordan made it that way because he wanted to show us that love is complicated. It is. It's a complicated thing. It's not something. It's not something you just jump into. And we think he did a really great job. Well, I think he did a really great job of navigating those very difficult undercurrents in a really tasteful and accurate way while remaining true to the story. America! Fuck yeah! Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, Josh. One of the reasons that I always continue to come back to the Wheel of Time, rereading it, doing a podcast about it, talking about it with everybody I goddamn know, all of that different stuff is the realism in the story. And so again, we've talked so many times about characters we don't like. The Fails, the Gawins, the Tylans, the all of the different characters who are terrible people.
Accurate.
But so many of them are so well written, and you wouldn't
feel like
be
terrible
as
people
mad at them if they weren't so well written, and they are real. All of us in our lives know a Gawain where we just want to punch them in the fucking face every 20 minutes because of stupid things, stupid uninformed things that they say. And you're just like, talk to someone. Talk to someone.
Hey,
communicate
please.
with anyone.
Stop it.
Kind of thing.
Get some
Stop
help.
it. Get some help.
Right.
But again,
fucking
that's
minge.
life. Everybody knows a Gawain. Everybody knows an Elida. Everybody knows these people because they're real. And yeah, you might not, as a person who's so much more of a, Emmons Field 5, where you also have your hangups, but you're an amazing person, you might not want to hang out with Gawins or Elidas very often, but they exist. They're are there. Our world. And if you write a story that has no Gawins in it, if you write a story that has no Elidas in it, it loses some realism. It loses some flair. It loses some honesty because you're missing an aspect of the world. And I love that. And that goes to battles that they win and battles that they lose. That goes to love stories that go well and love stories that go badly. That goes to duels that end in heartbreak, duels that end in victory, people who die who you like and people who live who you don't. And again, it's just so real world and so realistic while being in a completely and utterly fictional, made up, and fantastical setting that we wouldn't be able to have this conversation about Love in the Wheel of Time if it wasn't so well written and if it wasn't so real. Absolutely. If it wasn't so raw. And
which is so much fun to say because it is so real in such a fantasy scenario. It's one of the great juxtapositions of this story.
Yep. And I will throw out there that I hated when people did this in the MCU. So please, everybody listening, please don't be this person. I know there are going to be things that happen in the story on the television show. And if you haven't read all the way through, first of all, why are you still here? We gave you a spoiler warning. But second, if you haven't read all the way through and you are finding things out in the television show and you sit there and go, that's not realistic. Make it be because it's not realistic with the rules that they've established, but not because it's just generally not realistic. Because I got so annoyed at people when it was like Lord of the Rings or the MCU or whatever, where they were like, well, that's not real. And you're like, what part of it's not real? Well, Ant-Man having the same strength when he's little, he should also have the same strength when he's big. And you're like, yes, agreed. That is exactly right. That is true with the physics of the world. But when they're just like, Ant-Man can't get that big, and you're like, that's not, shut up. That's not how it works.
I'm sorry, you're upset that something's not real in a fantasy?
People like that just,
Yeah. So it drives me nuts.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Remember, the three websites, actually, as your homework that you need to visit this week, blacktowerpod.com, thegreatblight.com, and facebook.com/rockpick. All three of those you need to address and see this week as your homework. All members of the Black Tower are required to visit these sites. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're grateful to have you here. We're grateful that you guys are listening, and it's just a lot of fun. We do this because we enjoy having fun with you. And
also, super quick, guys. Definitely while you're on blacktowerpod.com, go over to Spreadshirt. We actually already have a couple or a new design up for merch. It's super fun. It's super enjoyable. Go see Creations by Jen. She also has at least one new design. I'm really excited about them. They're really well done. Thank you very much to Josh for actually putting in the design work on those. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
It is an honor.
But if you are looking for more fun stuff that is Wheel of Time related, that is Black Tower podcast related, all that different stuff, if you haven't looked at any designs, you have a bunch to look at, and it's dope. If you've seen them all before, go look again. I guarantee there's new stuff, and there will be new stuff coming later. So get your shit now. You can be one of the first.
Yep. And to those that are listening tonight as we're recording, happy early Valentine's Day. To those that are able to watch the episode whenever it drops on Patreon for the dedicated and above tier, again, happy early Valentine's Day. And when this comes out publicly for everybody else on the 19th, which if you're not a Patreon, this is probably today / later when you're in it. Either way, happy belated Valentine's Day. Hope it was
this
good.
This is today.
This
yeah.
The floor is made of floor.
Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, with love, I say to you, thank you from the bottom of my tainted black heart. I have been Josh, your Sorovan Mahal.
I have been Andrew, your Bajan Mahal, and make sure that whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, you go ahead and give us a follow on that, leave reviews, feedback, all that really helps us. And the same stuff on YouTube. Go ahead and if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe. If you want to get notifications, you know where the bell is, and put comments down below. We like interacting with everybody.
Indeed. And I have been Daniel, your Amin Khan Mahal. And if you're looking for other ways to go ahead and get involved or other ways to communicate with us, Black Tower Pod also has some great forums that you can come and talk to us about. We'd love to go ahead and see you there and hear from you there. But from all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, from all of us here at the Black Tower, all of your Ashaman, all of your dedicated, and all of your soldiers, we hope that whatever day you're listening to this on, it is today, and you're having a wonderful today. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Slanja.